I will start from a standard blur model. When the blur is uniform and spatially invariant, the blur image is usually modeled as a convolution of a sharp image with blur kernel and plus noise. Here the star denotes the convolution operator. Blind image deblurring is very challenging, as we only know this single blurred image and don't know the sharp image and blur kernel. This is an ill-posed problem. We can find many solutions that satisfy the blur model. Of course, we want to find this group of solutions. To solve this problem, most methods take a probability approach and model the posterior distribution of blur kernel and sharp image given blurred image. It can be decomposed into likelihood term, priors on the latent image, and blur kernels. Most existing methods mainly focus on designing effective image priors for image deblurring. The image priors are usually designed for some specific clear images. However, methods designed for one scenario does not work well in another scenario. Different from existing methods, we propose a generic method which can be applied in many scenarios, such as nature images, low illumination images, text images, face images, and so on. We also establish the mathematical connection between the dark channel prior, which is widely used in image dehazing, and the blur process. Now, let's recall the definition of convolution. Convolution can be regarded as the weighted average of an image patch. It is usually defined like this. Here, I use a toy example to illustrate this property. We denote this as a sharp image. This one as the blur kernel. After convolution, the central pixel value in this 3x3 patch becomes 30. We also know that the minimum intensity value in this 3x3 patch is 0, so we have this result. Based on this result, we have this proposition. This proposition means that the convolution increases the value of the minimum intensity pixel of a clear image patch. The detailed proof is included in our paper. We further know that the minimum intensity value in an image patch is dark channel, which is first proposed by He et al. Here is the definition of dark channel. Now, we establish the mathematical connection between the dark channel prior and the convolution. Based on the mathematical connection, we have this property. This property means that the dark channel of the blurred image is less sparse than the dark channel of the clear image. Here the original norm counts the non-zero elements. The detailed proof is included in our paper. Here are two examples. We can see that the blurred image has less sparse dark channels than the clear images. We also verify this property by using 3,200 examples, and found that the dark channel of clear images contains more zero intensity pixels. This is the result on the text image deblurring dataset. The dark channel prior has the same property on text images. This means that the dark channel prior is a generic prior, which is able to model the changes of the blur process. Based on the property and the MAP framework, we propose to algebraically regularize the dark channel to constrain the latent image and obtain our deblurring model. The first term in this model is data filling cost. The second term is the localization of block kernels. The third term is the sparsity of image gradients. Since this model involves L0 norm and the nonlinear mean operator in the dark channel, it is a complex mathematical optimization problem. We know that for the L0 norm, we can use a half-quadratic splitting method to solve it. The main difficulty of this problem is the nonlinear mean operator in dark channel. In the following, we will mainly focus on this problem. To solve this problem, we make the following observations. We know that the vectorization of dark channel can be expressed by this equation. Here M denotes the dark channel indicator matrix. It can be computed according to this property. If we assume Y is the position of the dark pixel in an image patch, so M can be computed according to this equation. Here I use a tau example to illustrate this property. We know that the single pixel in this 3x3 patch has the minimum intensity value. So M is like this, and this one is the vectorization of an image patch. Now we have one problem. How to compute M in the deblurring process? As we don't know the clear image in the deblurring process, we estimate M from the current estimate of image. When computing dark channel from the current estimate of image, we record the position of the dark pixels. With these positions, we can easily obtain M. After obtaining M, we can use a standard algebraic regularized optimization method to solve the proposed model. As the current estimate of image approaches to the ground truth images, so M approaches to the ground truth M. More details can be found in our paper. Now I will evaluate our method using a variety of scenarios. Here is the result on thin et al.'s dataset. Our method performs better than the other deblurring methods. Here is a real-colored example. We can see that the deblurring results from other methods still contains blur effect. Here is the result without using dark channel prior. We can see that it still contains significant blur effect. However, our method generates a much clearer image. As our method is generic, we also evaluate on text images. We know that the natural image deblurring method is not able to generate a clear result from this blurred image. However, our method generates a comparable result compared to the method which mainly focuses on text image deblurring problem. Our method also works well on saturated images. We know that the natural image deblurring methods still fail to generate a clear result from this blurred image. However, our method still generates a much clearer image compared to the method which mainly focuses on this problem. Here are some close-ups. The results by this method still contains significant ring artifacts. Our method also works well on face images. As evidenced by this work, face image deblurring is also very challenging. However, our method still generates a comparable result compared to the method which mainly focuses on face image deblurring. The dark channel prior can be directly applied to non-uniform image deblurring and generates a much clearer image. This is our result. And here are some close-ups. We can see that the results from other non-uniform deblurring methods still contains significant ring artifacts. Our method is not without limitations. One limitation is that the dark channel prior is may not work well when the image contains serial noise. Here's an example with serial Gaussian noise. We can see that the result without using dark channel profile is better than the result with using dark channel profile. This is mainly because we don't consider noise when modeling dark channel profile in convolution. Future work should consider joint deblurring and denoising using dark channel profile. To sum up, we established the mathematical connection between the dark channel profile and the convolution. Based on this connection, we propose a generic profile for image deblurring. The code and dataset are available at our website. Thanks for your attention.
I have two questions. One, you assume sparsity in the dark channel. Can you talk about what happens if the assumption doesn't hold, and does this happen often? And the other one is that you show experiments in one of the standard data sets, but there are other ones like the one by Levine et al. Can you give any insights about how it works on the other ones?
Okay, thanks for your question. When the sparsity of dark channel does not hold, our method will reduce to the conventional deblurring methods. That means that the dark channel profile will have no effects on image deblurring. This is an example that our method failed to generate clear result. This means that the dark channel clear image does not contain zero elements. So the result without using dark channel profile is almost the same to the result with using dark channel profile. And another problem, we also evaluate our method on the other deblurring dataset. For example, the Levine et al. Dataset and this deblurring dataset. And for that, our method still performs well than the other deblurring methods.